Right, cool. You guys want to get going?
Your phone wallpaper of salad in the bone arrow is a bit busy. Like,
Is that what you're? Let's see. Did you show me that on Saturday? Let me see it. Yeah, fair enough. I respect it. Shaved head, white boots.
yeah, it looks like a ball.
It does look like a ball. Right, should we crack on with it then?
Let's go.
Cool, let's do it. Me, Matthew, and Bean's doing this one. Ali's obviously been a 2-day bender, so he's not mentally ready to come in and do this. Shout out to live. But obviously, I text you boys what I thought we could talk about. There was a lack of football content out today when I was trying to get my footy fix, but just thought we could talk about maybe like style of play, maybe pertaining particularly to obviously Liverpool and Slot, and then kind of just see who else comes up when we talk about it. But this will probably lead us into that, to be honest. I don't want to spend... I want to try and spend like 5 minutes on this tops, but watched Scotland last night. Didn't see the Poland game. I don't think you did, Matthew, right? Or did you watch
I've watched both games.
Yeah, you watched both games. What's your guys' thoughts on everything with like Scotland and Steve Clarke?
I'll go first on that.
I'll go first, I guess. I think we kind of touched on it last night, obviously, in the flat coach, but it's a tough one because I don't really know what else we're meant to expect. Like, that's the way that Steve Clarke's going to set up, so it's like it's not going to change. I think we kind of made reference last night to sitting in and whatnot, and then we obviously spoke on a previous podcast about getting slaughtered off Germany doing that. And to be fair, we didn't actually get slaughtered off Portugal last night, but they obviously had the majority of the ball and everything. But yeah, I think that's just exactly what you're going to expect from Scotland at the moment. And I don't know. I think the only way of changing that is with a change of manager. I'm not saying that he should get sacked or leave or whatever, but I think we might as well just suck up that is going to be the way while Steve Clarke's the manager.
Yeah, I agree. Do you think the same? That's what me and Beans were saying in the flat last night. Do you think the same? Like, as long as he's the manager, not much is really going to change in that aspect, is it?
Nah, he doesn't know any other way, man. Like, what he's done successful for him, isn't it? So, and I mean, to a certain extent, I mean, it's been successful for us to, again, to a certain extent, but it is.
I actually thought we were all right in spells last night. To be fair.
I know
moments.
Yeah,
we were better in the last.
It's a weird one, isn't it? It's quite. I'm a wee bit concerned though, because like, who's like, do we have like much coming through of that?
Don't really know, to be honest. That's a good question.
Like, I don't. Yeah, but
like a few of the guys are getting on a bit, like especially at the back too. For Scotland,
I don't
you've
really
only
look
told me
in it, and it's like,
I
don't know, but yeah, I mean, I think I'm still a bit more emotionally attached because I went to Germany and spent about fucking $3,000 on it, man. So I think I've been thinking about recently. I think I'm like emotionally attached to it. So now when I watch the games, it makes me even more angry when I'm watching it. And I like in my head, I'm like, fucking spent $3,000 on that trip, man. Fuck me.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I don't know. Then it's a question of like who do you get in at the same time as well. But
I think the other thing as well, like last night, because we were actually okay in for like, I wouldn't say large spells of the second half, but like doing okay. And then as soon as it gets to the final like 15 minutes, it's just like, right, just defend for your life and try and get a point. And it was only a matter of time till Portugal scored.
The first 15 minutes after the second half, like in that spell where we conceded, we were terrible.
Yeah.
Like really bad, and like it was weird though because like it wasn't even like there was any structure that like we were all over the place. Like Lyndon Dykes was literally. Did you notice that Lyndon Dykes was sometimes like running back and like trying to win the ball off like I think it was Rafael Leao on one side, and I forgot who's on the other side. I think he might have switched at half time.
It was Neto, and then Ronaldo came on.
Yeah, and then I think Jota maybe went out wide. But like there was times like Lyndon Dykes was like trying to win like the ball off like the winger, and it's like you've literally then got no outlet whatsoever. So that at times you did win it, and it's like.
Do you not think that's what he wants though from him? Like he wants that from him.
As in Clarke wants that from
Lyndon
Dykes.
Everyone back defending, and like he's not bothered about having an outlet going forwards.
But it was the same problem in that Germany game, right? We were called that out when like Shea Adams is standing next to like John McGinn or whoever, or Billy Gilmore in centre mid. Billy Gilmore wasn't even fucking playing, but in like centre mid, and then Scotland get the ball, and the plan is, let's be honest, to punt it.
Yeah.
And Lyndon Dykes hold it up, but if there's no one there to hold it up, it just comes back and waves.
I wonder what the players. I wonder actually how the players like
hate it,
feel about it.
Yeah, I hate it.
Like Billy Gilmore must hate it.
There's like that. There's a awkward like respect and probably for like getting to the last 2 Euros, right? In terms of that and having a bit of success, but also probably being like, this is quite shite.
Do you see our like? I think I might get this wrong. I might have to fact check this, but something like when we were at the Euros, the tournament, I think we were maybe like the worst team to have the amount of shots on target. And
probably.
Did you see that?
We were literally like 24th of 24th.
And have you seen our last 14.
Yeah, we've won
results
one of
up.
14.
Like, don't like the thing is for me as well is like obviously going away and playing Portugal in a game like that. Like, let's be honest, a lot of the nation, even if we were in the form we were in before the Euros, like probably majority of the nation probably goes into that. Not like you don't really, you're not really
I was
going there.
expecting to get pumped.
Yeah, but you're not. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That you're not. Let's just say we're in a good place, right, and we go there. A lot of the countries probably not really expecting to win, right? We're going to like away in Portugal. Like, that's like a really tough game, right? It's the other games against like Georgia and Finland and that where like surely you need to turn up and there needs to be some form of like, you know what I mean? Like I watched it was really interesting. I watched a documentary on Gerrard the other day, and he was talking about a lot of it was when he was at England and got made captain and that. And he was saying he was like even at that time with that team they had, they were going away and playing certain like I think he said, was it like Morocco or something like that? They're going away like playing countries like that, and they were like, yeah, like they've literally they would have more of the ball than us. Like we'd literally go away to like, countries like that, and they were like technically really good, and like they would generally sometimes have more of the ball than us, and I'm like that's mad. Then I just
Neville
think we're in
said
a
that
bit
too.
of a
It's like England have always struggled with like being the dominant team in terms of like possession on the ball. Like,
yeah,
struggled with that,
100%.
Yeah.
And but it's a tough one though because it's quite subjective, isn't it? Because it's like, well, there's obviously ways to win, isn't there?
Yeah, of course. There's no.
But I think at the same time though, I just think with now where we're at and how far football's come from just being like possession focused, like that's almost now. I mean, obviously, kind of Guardiola's kind of at the forefront of that with that Barca team. I feel like that was probably the big shift when everyone was like, right, fucking hell. And there's obviously been a transition since then, but it's like you look at it then and it's like players these days now, like surely that's like what they must want to do and love the most.
Well, because you have the ball.
Like, and I look at it and like I think I've always said like top managers are the ones that always get the best out of players. Like, and you look at like John, like I watched the game last night with John McGinn playing on the left. I don't think that's his best position.
I honestly didn't even notice he was really playing.
You could tell that he was really struggling with it.
Yeah.
His best position is not off the left. It's not off the left at all. And you look at it and it's like I reckon you need to try and get the best out of it. When we had that spell, we actually were shit going into Euros, but the transition like qualifying foot and that. He got the best out of the likes of like McGinn, McTominay, Dykes was flying at the time as well. Gilmore was obviously in there. But then you also look at it and it's like you've got the likes like Kenny McLean now involved and like even like handling that, and it's like.
Do you not think? But like part of a manager's job, and if we want to talk about like style of playing and stuff like that, is like you just said, it's to. You have your ideas and your principles of what you want to play, but then you also have to look at the team and be like, well, do I have the guys to actually try and do that, right? And international targets, you can't sell folk, right?
So
like you've got to.
Never mind, you can't sell folk. You can't think of the actual time of planning and stuff though as well.
Yeah, I know.
Like international football is literally just like it's just get a result. Like it's literally game by game. You just need to like get results. That's why it's so different.
But also, the top teams are the teams that are still paying a possession based.
Yeah, now you're right. I know.
For the most part, at any level. So it's, I just think.
Who do we get in? Sorry,
I don't know, but do you not think? And
I've not really had a chance to look at that, but
no, neither have I. I wouldn't have an idea. But do you not think that? For me, you have like. Sorry, I just wrote this down just so I don't get this wrong as you were talking there about. To me, you have like as a manager, you have like ideas. It's like how you want to play. Then comes like the element of like tactics in the game with who you're playing against. So that becomes a part of it. You then also have like how do you want to do it? Like do you want to be defensive? Do you want to like be going forwards? And everyone will be different in that way. Like Klopp's, we'll obviously get onto it. Like Klopp's was going forwards and so was Slot, but they're in different ways, right? Yeah. So like, there's different ways to do it. And then ultimately you've got winning, right? Like at the end of the day, you have to win no matter what it is. So like you have to try and find the balance between those and also grow and progress in them. And my thought process is with Steve Clarke is that does he grow and progress from where he's got us to? Are we going to get any further ahead as a nation with Steve Clarke than where we are now?
The only way of doing it is winning.
Yeah. But I'm saying with everything that's around it, will we get any further ahead? I'm not saying anyone else could come in and do a better job, but will we actually go any further forwards with what we're doing? I don't think so. I think we'll qualify and then struggle to get out of it.
I think it's a tough one though, and this folk might call me out for this, but Scotland are, as you say, like the whole perception of like well, winning is like obviously the most important thing, and like I think Scotland are generally like happy to qualify for like tournaments and like the Tottenham and go and have a great time and whatnot. I think we spoke about this last time as well, but like, which I'm not saying is right, but it's easier and easier to get into tournaments now, right? Like every man in the dog qualifies for the World Cup.
It is easier,
So there's maybe that perception that, well, we technically are, we're not winning, we're obviously not going to win the World Cup, but we're qualifying, so we're doing better than what we have done over the last 25, 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe like the SFA look at that and go, well, actually, he's actually doing the job that no one else has been able to do.
Yeah.
But whether they take into account that, like, not anyone could be in charge and qualify, but Scotland should be expected to qualify now. And that is, maybe they do have to stretch their ambitions, so to speak.
Yeah. And that way of playing too, and again, there's nothing wrong with it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. And there's times to do it in games, even if you have to do that in games, even if you are Liverpool or maybe not City because they dominate, but you do have to do that. I just think that idea and that concept of being compact and kind of like be safe first. Ultimately, we were watching it last night, Greg, and you're like, Portugal are gonna score. Like they're gonna score. Like you're basically hoping on luck to them not to score. And like we're saying, you don't have an outlet going forward. You're really hoping on luck.
It's such a long time, isn't it?
Yeah, like and when you've got Bruno Fernandes, just all the space in the time they're on to pick passes out to Jota, Ronaldo, Rafael Leao. I mean, Bernardo Silva's in there. At some point, someone's unpicking you, and you're going to concede.
Gunn made some good saves as well. I know he should probably do better for the first one he conceded, but made some pretty good saves as well.
Yeah.
Just to go on about style of play, do you think, like, obviously, as you say, like, Guardiola's came in and everyone started, like, playing, so to speak, and I think even they touched on stick to football, like, even in League Two, like, who did Roy Keane call out the other day about
MK Dons?
Oh, MK Dons.
And, like, actually playing.
That was good.
Do you think if a manager just went, like, nah, fuck that, and went, like, old school Tony Pulis and just got 11 guys that were all 6'4" and just made it tough as fuck, do you think they would actually have success these days, or do you think everyone has to play?
That's a tough question.
I don't know if you want to say something.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, do you know what I think it is for me for that, Beans? I think the absolute top best guys adapt in the game in certain moments. So I can remember games where we played City in the Champions League under Klopp and they're fucking battering you and you can't get out and you just have to say, right, well, we have to just ride this one out sometimes. Do you know what I mean? And there's moments in games where we're looking tired and we need to maybe just chill out for a second here, regain the ball a little bit. Like you change it in games. Like I remember doing that with the kids. I know it's a completely different level, but you'd be like, oh fuck, this is all week we continue our ideas, we continue the principles, we want to be on the ball, we want to press high, but like, oh fuck, we're a bit off it today and they're really good at whatever. You have to adapt in those certain moments.
I thought like now looking at it, I thought that Liverpool Klopp team struggled with that most.
But having to
like a plan B.
Yeah, I don't think we had a plan B.
I agree
we didn't.
that.
It was basically Alisson's the best 1v1 keeper in the world. Hope he saves it. Not hope he saves it.
The biggest one for me is I remember I've never been so frustrated as mine the Atalanta.
Yeah.
Was it last season? Yeah.
Yeah, when Salah scored the penalty.
Well, the two legs, we played them home and away.
Yeah.
We played them at the Anfield first and we got beat.
3-0.
And like, they're honestly like watching them though. That was the first time I was like, holy fuck! Like when they went man to man,
we didn't know what to do.
We didn't know what to do. And in the second leg, we totally didn't change it as well. And we really, really struggled. But sorry, that was just no. Like, I think that's where we kind of struggled most. But I don't know if it's a nice
it's a good transition into what we're talking about, because what it looks like Slot's brought is a little bit more control in that aspect of the game of we're not gonna be as open as that and rely on Alisson as much. Hopefully,
this is where football's so fickle and subjective at times. Though, is you look if you then take that as an example, and you the Barcelona comeback.
Yeah.
So we had. I can't remember who was out at the time.
It was only Mane. It was only
was out.
yeah. It was
Salah
Mane,
was out,
Shaqiri.
Firmino was out, and there was maybe a midfielder
sorry.
that was out as well. No,
Maybe,
as in like Shaqiri started, Origi started.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it wasn't our main boys, and the concept was the same though. It was just basically plan A. You know what I mean? So there's
and everyone's coached into that plan A. To be fair,
But
right?
again,
but I actually sorry, I maybe take that back though. That's a bit different because we're also losing. We
So
came
you
into
have
the
to go
game
for it.
losing.
so you have to.
Yeah, so I maybe actually take that back because it's definitely.
again, you've got to play
definitely a little different though.
But to my point again, you've got to. You can have all your ideas and your styles and your principles, but you have to play the moment and the occasion as well.
Yeah.
So if you're 3-0 up, if you reverse that, you're not going to be. We're still gonna be forwards, but boys, like we're 3 up. Like don't let them back into the game as well. Like get to 60 at 0-0, and they're like, we're never gonna get 3 here. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not to say that you're then telling your team to sit in. It's just you're playing the moment of the game, and I think that's what Klopp was. like we've said this, right? Klopp's job was to revive Liverpool back to the top. Slot's job is completely different. It's stay at the top.
Mm-hmm.
They're two different types of jobs that they have to do. Eric Ten Hag's jog. I keep saying jog, man. Eric Ten Hag's job really is to rise Man United back up to what Klopp did with Liverpool.
Yeah.
Is he going to do that? I'm sorry, I'm not just picking on him, but we were saying that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
the
the only
club's
way
in
to
a
do that is
the
win,
club's
though.
not in. Man United aren't in a point where it's like we want to play good style of football and stuff like that. Man United is like revive the club back to where it is. Like, you need that Gerrard at Rangers. You need that figure to like bring that energy along with all the other things, right? Along with all the other things.
Yeah, it's winning will do that though. Do you not think?
Yeah.
Like, that's ultimately.
Do you think you can see early if something's going to work like that? Not work, but do you think you can see relatively early on, like if what the guy's trying to do, the manager's trying to do?
Yeah, but I think Slot, like, to be fair, like, I've actually enjoyed how we've looked, and obviously when Klopp said he was going, I was like gutted. But
Life was over.
yeah, exactly. But I think you do have to remember, and not to take anything away from what he's done in the first like 3 or 4 games, whatever it's been, but it's the exact same squad, and like we do have like a really good team at the end of the day. So getting like his principles into that team, where as you say it's slightly different, but it's the same like overall idea.
Yes.
So I don't think it's a massive change. It will just be like, so it's probably a wee bit easier to take off. Where like on the other hand, as you say, like Ten Hag's maybe got a bit more of a job in terms of actually building a squad of players that he actually wants, that he thinks can fit his principles, which he's probably not been able to do for the first 2 and a bit years that he's been there.
Yeah.
Where I think Slot's job is a slightly easier one, to be fair.
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't want to. I'll let you speak as well, but I don't want to like hammer on Liverpool Man United thing. But like, obviously, that was the last game before the break. We're still in the break, and I mean, we beat them 3-0 at Old Trafford, fairly easy. I know they had a couple of opportunities, but it's gonna happen, right? You're at Old Trafford, they're gonna get moments. Fairly easy, and I was just like, wow, like already this guy's come in and managed to, again, you said, Greg, same squad of players, but he's managed to just keep it. Whereas like Ten Hag's like, I've just never seen somebody buy so many of the ex people that they've coached. And to me, that says you're not backing yourself to get out of other players what you want. So you're going to guys that you know you've already worked with. And that's fine to bring 1 or 2 in. Most people kind of do that. But do you not think it's just like a lot? And like you've said to me too, Matthew, if you want to elaborate on this, I thought it was a good point. And you said to me, I think it was that day, was that, mate, Slot's way and setup is the same as Ten Hag's. It's just coach better.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of the concepts are the same. If you also look at it, it's literally, I mean, it's pretty much the same formation as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's predominantly a 4-2-3-1, but obviously it changes in that. But no, I think I've always said that like the best managers, you can pretty much tell from the get-go what their principles are, how they're going to set up the style of play and stuff, and obviously adapt within that. But I mean, I've pretty much been shocked at how good we've actually looked and how quick. You have to also remember, by the way, we had all of like our big time players come back. They played 1 preseason game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 1 preseason game. Like I think it's Trent, Salah,
Yeah.
all that lot.
Sevilla.
Mate,
Salah a
like,
bit more. Salah was because he didn't have.
Oh wait, sorry, yeah,
anything.
Salah.
Yeah, but
Anyway,
I know your point.
You had a lot of players only coming back. It was quite. I think that's quite unique with how the Euros and that went, obviously. But I think we were one of the teams with like the players that were away the longest and stuff. The fact that he implemented that quick, it's frightening. I'm a big believer at all like the big like your top managers, like you can see from the get go exactly what they're trying to do.
You can see it with Klopp the first game at Spurs. You can see it with Arteta, and it's all about the board and everyone and the fans. Not even the fans, but like the board being like, we can see it. There's gonna be moments of like 2-3 game losses.
Yeah.
Fans are gonna get a bit pissed. It's about like really sticking with it, right?
Yeah.
And not allowing your, but like you said, like we've been saying, also winning more often than not to keep that going. And that's where I think that like. Obviously, I said this in the last one, don't want to harp on about it, but like, I don't think Ten Hag's got it in the bank. Let's just say that this team is going to be better. I don't think he's got enough in the bank to get through that next bad period.
Yeah.
Because, like, mate, half the fans had left at Old Trafford in that game.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, which you can't really blame them for.
Yeah.
But like, I do agree. I think as soon as he goes through a bad patch, he is in a bit of trouble. But that is probably like, and I know they touched on it on Sunday and that, but that is probably due to they were pretty close to getting rid of the guy anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm quite surprised that they didn't, to be fair.
I'm buzzing, mate.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was buzzing too.
But yeah, to be fair though, you could probably say with Slot and like he's kind of hit the ground running, but maybe that is just a little bit fortunate. Like it could have gone the opposite way. Like the first half against Ipswich wasn't very good.
You can see the goal.
If that gets concede a goal, or even if it gets into like the 80th minute and you haven't scored yet, and all of a sudden you draw the first game, and then like you never know, right? Where I'm sure at some point he'll have like a little bit of a wobble. Everyone's gonna.
Yeah.
The way he's adapted though has been
Yeah.
like see tactically like the
It
way
was
he's
impressive,
adapted
wasn't
in every single one of the games, like
Yeah, he's very.
it feels like just the next level. Like
He's better
it's
tactically than Klopp.
mate. It's ridiculously how fucking clever these guys are with football and how they view it. Like it's insane,
It was impressive
the
when he
way-
came on Sky Sports, and
mate. The way he talks about it,
Yeah.
like the way he just simplifies
Yeah.
everything. Can you imagine though? Like you can. So I think everyone can imagine from the get go, right? Can you imagine if you were playing under him, right? I bet you understand what he wants, and even more, if you know what I mean. Like I bet you everyone. But this is why I think that his already that everyone can see what he's trying to do is because you can tell the way just from listening to talk football. You're like, mate, I reckon he just gets everyone on board and everyone knows exactly what they're doing, and that's the difference. To be honest, like it's
His job
frightening.
and his biggest job was to get your Salah, like you said, your Salah, Van Dijk, Alisson, Trent. I don't think I'm missing anyone out who I would say like your first job is get them on side because the rest will follow, right? And so far it looks like he's done that. I think it's been, like you say, it's been 3 games. The test comes when you lose, right? And you lose a couple, and you're in that. We've got, I don't know exactly what it is, but there's a tough run where we play like City, Madrid, Everton. Like there are your moments where like you find out what the guy's made of because you're gonna lose one of them.
How do you feel about not signing any players like that?
I'm not that bothered.
a wee bit frustrated in terms, but it looks like out of nowhere, I didn't see it coming, that it looks like Gravenberch is just going to go and do that role in centre mid, because I was a little bit worried about like that overall position, but all of a sudden it looks like him and McAllister can just kind of interchange and switch. Where Gravenberch I thought was always quite good under Klopp, to be fair, and obviously like tall and athletic and whatnot.
He did,
but I didn't really see that coming, to be honest. He looks like a new signing, really.
Yeah, it's what we were saying, right? About like you have your ideas, but then how do the players work? Like Endo suits Klopp more because he's a runner and like win it back, whereas Gravenberch Slot still likes that, but Slot wants to play through the midfield a bit better, and Gravenberch's from Ajax, that's what his game is. Whereas like Klopp didn't want that, right? It was like get the ball to the front 3 as quick as we can. Yeah. That was the aim. So the midfield needs to be our famous midfielders, Fabinho, Hendo, Wijnaldum. Not that they're not technical players and maybe couldn't play for Slot, but it suited them because it was like, you guys get it and give it to fucking Salah, Mane and Firmino as fast as you can and win the ball back for us, right? Like, Klopp was emotion, wasn't he? Klopp's, like you said, Greg, like this, just small tweaks, like Klopp's emotion and Slot just seems to be, the team already has taken on Slot's like, bit like cool, calm demeanor. Like he doesn't want to go to the fans, like he just wants to shake hands, go down the tunnel. Like he's not interested in being the face of it, is he? He's not. And that's
look good as well.
Yeah,
mate.
Yeah, I thought Elliot would play more, but
nah, I'd honestly, but now I've watched his games. Like, see, so one thing I've noticed is he talks a lot about having legs. He does still talk about having legs in midfield.
He likes a duel.
Winning, obviously, like obviously first and second balls and that. I think he's huge on that. I think people think that like, oh, it's obviously this like controlled kind of possession base, but I reckon he's probably big on like actually winning first and second balls as much as he is also on the playing side, especially if you're playing in the Premier League. Like, I think you need to be, because if not, you really struggle. But Szoboszlai plays 100% instead of Elliot. It's simply, well, I mean, on the ball he's obviously really good, but see off the ball, the boy's an absolute joke.
Yeah,
like in that position behind a
got
striker.
legs,
Off the ball, he's unbelievable.
Probably partly
he must
as
run
well,
the most out of everyone. I've not checked it.
Probably partly as well with Diaz as well, right? Diaz is really good off the ball.
Yeah,
and like he's quite like
he needs to be.
Colombian.
That was actually something. That something stuck with me is one of the first things when Slot was talking about. You know when we signed Chiesa.
Yeah.
One of the first things that he spoke about, and I think I might have. Well, no, he also spoke. He did speak about obviously like with the ball and that, but one of the first things he said that I picked up on was he started basically just talking to him and like talking loads about him off the ball and saying how good he is off the ball basically. And I caught on to it and I was like, we 100% will only go and sign like we will not have like a luxury like
a superstar.
I don't think he'll have like a luxury like like winger like 10 of that that will just like not. But I don't know. I could be wrong. We could go and sign like a player like that like within the next year or two under him or whatever if it keeps going well. But I genuinely think that we'll find out that he is like massive, huge on like off the ball.
Which again, Klopp, which was really Klopp's big thing.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
and like John Barnes said it. I think it was on the Stick to Football or seen John Barnes say something. He was like, the transition's been good because, and they were talking about that about the work rate, and he was like, the transition's been good is because the types of characters Liverpool have signed, are not characters that are like big time. Like Salah's become a star, but he's not like. Do you know what I mean? Like Diaz, like you're not signing a suit. That's why we always had those chats right about like Mbappe, and that's like Klopp's never signed. Liverpool aren't signing Mbappe. Doesn't fit like Mbappe's fucking unreal. He doesn't fit that though, does he? He does not fit that. Whereas like, you know, you see that
the concept is the same though, isn't it? With
it's the same concept. It's just little tweaks and stuff. I wanted to talk about the style of play stuff. Just finish on because obviously used to do the coaching. Like, see playing out the back, and we talked about like everyone plays out the back now, right? Great. First of all, my ideal style of football would probably be closer to Klopp for me than Pep, right? Like I love like a Alisson grabbing it and fucking twatting it to Salah and being quite direct, but I also like Pep's way. It's like somewhere in between, but it'd be closer to Pep's. But that was the other thing I noticed too with, again, I'm not just trying to harp on it just because it was the last big game, but like, you know, like Ten Hag's Ajax team are really good at that. And like they had all the things that we talked about that Liverpool have. And like I watched them, and I know that back four, that back five was first time they've all been together, and it'll get better. But I'm watching it and like the positions they are and where they're trying to play, and I'm like, that comes from me coaching, and I just didn't agree with what I was seeing a lot of the time. And sometimes I think it's like playing out the back becomes such a identity that it's like, okay, but like how is it, like you said, Greg, about like the Keane saying about like the MK Dons thing. It's like that's fine, but like there's a time and a moment where you're not good enough to like not do that, like adapt a little bit. And I just thought United looked poorly coached still playing out the back, albeit with a new back five. Personally,
yeah, I mean that's what I mean. They don't really have an identity, do they at all? They don't.
But he's gone from his identity as a manager. I think he's all over the shop.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows what he's doing. I get the feeling of like you can see teams that are all pulling in one direction, and I get the feeling that like he almost isn't confident in his ideas to like stick to his principles and stuff like that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So
United should have went all out on De Zerbi, is all I'm saying.
You love De Zerbi, mate.
Yeah, maybe would have had them. You would have within fucking week one. You would have, mate. Yeah,
you would have seen what he was trying to do.
Yeah,
where after 2 years under Ten Hag,
100%.
You can't really. It's weird. Like even like I was talking. I was talking to Ali about this actually, and like he went and signed Onana, and when he came, everyone was like, "Oh, this keeper can absolutely ping it and whatnot." And like you watch him, you're like, he's not a very good shot stopper, which is like your number one as a keeper. But I wouldn't say he's like a massive standout at pinging the ball about either. So it's like, surely if you're gonna like substitute like a little bit of shot stopping, you want him to be absolutely superb at passing it about, and he's not.
My goalkeeper's number one thing is fucking being able to save.
Exactly.
And Onana's not good at that at all. Like I listened to the Anfield Rap review, they do the tactical one, and they were like, they were something that they were doing. One of the guy that like he's a coach. He coaches a men's team in Liverpool, like a semi-pro team. And it was the first he wanted to get to the game early and see the warm up. And he said that he could see slot staff. They were working on shooting early, and he reckons they were saying like Onana's like where he stands and stuff like that, and his stance. If you hit it early, you can't fucking get to it. Yeah. And it's like, I agree with you, Beans. Like your keeper, it's all well and good being good with your feet, but like, mate, if your keeper can't save a shot,
even the Salah goal goes in like 2 yards inside the post.
Yeah. Well, Diaz hits it early. Salah hits it early for both of them. They did like, and I thought, oh, interesting. They've definitely said he can't fucking get across to save those shit, but
it's interesting because I just think it's a bit of a Man U problem though. I think a lot of players go there and whatever.
They do have some decent fixtures coming up though, right? They play Southampton when they come back, and then Palace.
See how it gets on, See how they get on. Speaking of that, unless anyone has anything else they want to say about style of play, I was going to kind of move on to just thoughts so far on the league, really, overall.
No, crack on.
Yeah. Dad, what's everyone's thoughts been so far? Kind of, we're 3 games in. I know it's hard to fucking say a lot, but
I think in the first podcast I said that Arsenal were going to win the league, and I just said it to be different, to be honest. And already I'm like, I think City are just going to walk it. Like, they've not
even rump it again.
Well, they've not even like. You see, Pep came out and said that he considered the first 3 games still part of pre-season.
Yeah.
Did they actually?
Yeah, and they've literally beat Chelsea away, West Ham away, and then obviously pumped Ipswich at home. But
And Haaland's got 2 hat-tricks.
and Haaland scored 7 goals. They've not played Rodri or Foden yet at all. I put Savinho on my fantasy team, and then he got hooked.
Yeah.
Did they?
And other than that, I just think I can see them. It's one of them with City. You sit and look at the fixtures, and it's like, who do they actually drop points to?
I know, man. I know. So it's you're gonna have
I really
to.
hope we challenge him.
Yeah.
It'd be so good, man.
You're gonna have to as you know, all those guys, Neville and all that, have said the last couple of years that they played at that level. The difference now for like Arsenal, which we got to, is you've got to beat City.
Yeah.
And you've got to at least maybe try and take 4 off them, if not 3.
Because you're your only hope.
Exactly, because that's where Arsenal kind of faltered, and that's how they got to the last day of the season last year. Was they beat City once, didn't they? And then drew with it, but
and
then
drew.
didn't take it at the Etihad. Was it the Etihad or the Emirates? Was it the Etihad that game?
They
Did you
had when they
forget?
drew, but
You
they
look
just
back
sat
and
in,
they didn't
yeah.
really go for it, did they? They sat in and were happy to be like, we'll get out of here with a point. And looking back,
I just think it's hard to
Yeah.
look past it. Like, they're just so good, as I say. They're always going to, even those awkward games, they just seem to win. Like Chelsea, the Chelsea game in the first day of the season, like Chelsea had a couple of chances, to be fair, just coming up into half time when City were 1-0 up. But as soon as it gets into the second half, they're just so good at seeing games out.
do you think that I've got a little bit of vibes that, and it's very hard, same with Liverpool, it's very hard to improve that team, don't get me wrong, but I just thought with their summer business and stuff like that, I get vibes of this will be Pep's last year, and like how you going to bring folk in to be like, they're going to, you know, Pep's not going to be here. It's like, okay, I'm going to wait and see how that goes though, because like anyone, you don't know how it's going to go and who they're going to get in. I get vibes it'll be his last season.
It's a tough one with
Really?
the Chargers as well, though, because
Yeah.
they must be like, they'll obviously know more than what we know regarding the Chargers, so they might just be like, let's just try and fly under the radar, not really sign anyone. They obviously signed Savinho, didn't they?
Yeah.
For what, 30,
He
33
looks a
million or
proper
something?
player.
He does
right?
look good. I
He
like
just
him.
looks like Mahrez. It's
They've like
Yeah.
weirdly gone back to like a right footer on the right and a left foot on the left sometimes.
He switches about all the time.
Yeah.
But he always, well, you kind of need to, don't you? He went from fullbacks going, he then he introduced Tucker in the fullbacks. And then he's obviously gone left foot or right foot, but then he switched it for a bit. They started though against Chelsea though with Savinho one side and then
Yeah.
But to be fair, did you hear him come out and said he was like, yeah, I never should have done that.
Oh really?
And he said he gives us the players like I think he said like 15-20 minutes in, so he said the players just done it themselves, and he said I just left it and it was better.
Oh okay.
He was I was obviously trying
play.
to probably be a bit too clever, but
Yeah.
interesting way. But yeah, he always switches something every season, and
That's why he's always ahead.
100%.
Always
yeah.
doing something. Is anyone trying to think who's impressed me so far the most? Like a little random. Brighton have impressed me with the new manager.
Yeah, Brighton have been good.
Yeah, with the new manager,
I've watched a good few of their games.
they seem to have like kept it going, as we were
Yeah.
saying, like kind of similar to
Yeah.
Slots, like just come in and keep us going. He's 31 years old, young, but seems to be doing decent.
Finished quite bad with the Zerbi there, though.
It did, yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes that style can get a bit like that, though. It gets a bit robotic and
Mhm.
like. Yeah. it
Well,
can get-
teams work against about style of play. It's like fine. I think De Zerbi hit a point where he needed to adapt and grow a wee bit and just change little things, and he
Yeah.
didn't seem like he was doing
I
that.
think his styles, yeah, it's very, very robotic, and it's like this is the play here.
Mhm.
This is what we do here. I think you'll find that when like players like sometimes they just like
Freedom.
they either struggle with that, but a lot of them want freedom. But if you're winning games, it's different. But yeah, I think he does look. So how old's like 30?
31.
Yeah, he's
Mine and
he's
Beans' age.
the
Fuck
same age
off,
as
he's
us,
Yeah,
30.
yeah.
same
31.
age as me and Beans. Yeah.
Yeah,
How the fuck?
I know.
Mental,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It was
That
him,
is
was that St.
insane,
Paul?
man.
He's at St. Paul, eh? Is that him?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he got them
What?
promoted and stuff like that
St.
for the
Paul,
Bundesliga.
it's-
Oh, for
and-
the-
Yeah, he got them promoted to the Bundesliga.
What I know not about because I was just going to talk about Arsenal, like very briefly talk about Arsenal.
Yeah.
What did you make of the Declan Rice sending off? Because that totally changed that game. By the way, I watched that first half and like Arsenal looked quite good, to be honest. I think.
I'll be honest, I haven't seen it.
Have you not?
I mean, I've seen it.
I seen a quick clip of it, but I didn't understand the context of it and stuff.
It's
It's
so
one
I
of
was
those for me where it's like it's the rule, but
I seen a thing like because the ball's technically still rolling, so they
Yeah.
could have played on anyway. But he
Yeah.
has like kicked the ball out.
it's the rule, but I mean, he gets punted by.
Yeah, but that's his own fault for standing
Yeah, I
in the way
know,
of
but like
Veltman, innit?
I'm like, well, if you're gonna book him, I reckon that's a yellow each. But it's the rule. I mean, how many times we've all played? Like how many times he doesn't even like punt it, right?
Yeah.
he
just
he
flicks
rolls
it,
it
to the side.
away. Like it's not like
I-
he's punted it.
I didn't agree with folk being like, but Veltman's not trying to pass it to anyone. There's no one on the pitch. 'Cause it's like,
It
well,
doesn't matter.
it doesn't matter. If he just wants to leather it clear, he can
Yeah.
leather it wherever he wants.
I think it's
It totally changed that game.
totally changed the game, and that's what happened, man.
Because to be honest, Brighton probably could have nicked it.
That's
to
the
be
thing
honest.
with like that's why I'm not big on predictions and that because it's
Yeah.
all gonna come down to injuries. It's gonna come down to shit like that.
Moments.
Like it's literally like
Yeah.
it's all comes down to that
I
shit.
would,
Doesn't
I would
it?
like at least someone to push City close just to make it interesting, right?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
Surely we've. I know we're only 3 games in, but I'm a little concerned that if we get niggles and injuries that we don't
Yeah.
quite have the
Yeah.
squad depth for it. I was a little bit annoyed we didn't really go and spend.
could probably do with another centre half now as well. To be fair,
Yeah, I mean,
Do you know?
it's
Do you?
really tough though, isn't it? Because if you go and get Zubimendi, Gravenberch's probably not going to play. Gravenberch's probably going to play like 15% of the games this
Yeah.
season, and he doesn't come into the player that he is now. So,
Yeah.
but he's been quite injury prone as well, though. From
Mhm.
my
Gravenberch.
yeah.
Yeah, he did get a few. He got a bad one against Caicedo last year in the League Cup
Cup
final. He
final, yeah.
fucking done him.
I had a few niggles in that though in the clock, but no, it wasn't very.
I know. And then like Kanat, like
I think we'll
obviously-
get less injuries into this style of play, though.
what?
You think?
I think we'll get less injuries because I think it's
Alright.
more. I think it's more ball orientated.
Yeah, but it's also we've also got a different whole different sports science team and everything.
Yeah, well,
so
everything's different. Again, rumors apparently. Again, I was listening to this through the Anfield Rat Boys, but that they came in and have really tailored the gym program down a lot.
Mm.
I think the players do look leaner too.
I think so.
He's tailored the gym programming down a bit.
Yeah.
Have a wee look at them and see. I think they look like. Yeah, they're
Leaner.
obviously in unbelievable shape and they're other professional athletes, but I think they look leaner. I do.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest with you, to like go and win the Premier League in that, you generally need like. It was Arsenal. I remember Arsenal last season. Like, I remember generally thinking like all the time, like they've got no one.
They
fucking
didn't have
injured.
anyone injured last
No,
year.
no,
City
they
were
got
in a
away
si-
with it.
City
yeah.
were in a bit of a similar boat as well, from what I remember. But
Haaland was missing for a bit.
De
and
Bruyne?
Bruyne.
De
Yeah,
Bruyne,
that's a
yeah,
good
they
point,
missed, yeah,
actually.
they got through.
But
it.
you need a bit of luck like that, don't you,
Mhm.
throughout the season? But I mean, hopefully, obviously, we've brought in new. It's all very like
Yeah.
science orientated and shit. It's
To
pretty
be,
complex.
to be fair as well, Haaland and De Bruyne got injured, and then Foden decided to have
Yeah,
the season of his life so
Yeah.
far. I mean, he's
someone else
class, but
steps up.
But yeah, I don't know. Do we go do a bit? It depends where we're at in January, I guess, and seeing where we're at. But I was a little bit.
there's just no way Kanai makes it through a season without getting injured
It
at
would,
some point.
it would be a miracle.
Do you-
It goes to show the way like Konsa obviously gets brought off, and obviously Konsa was his guy for Van Dijk. Obviously,
Mm-hmm.
first half after Ipswich, Kanai comes in, plays amazing. At that level, like
Yeah,
it's literally like that. Like as
Cutthroat.
soon as you're out the team, and then your other player starts playing good, like until they absolutely fuck up or get injured, you're probably not getting back into
Yeah.
that level. Like
yeah.
Do you see anyone? I
it's
mean,
tough.
again, I know I'm asking kind of for a prediction, but and it's only 3 games in. But do you see anyone else getting into that top 3? Like, I think Spurs and Newcastle look very samey, and like they go through long periods of games where like they're really bad. And I know it's only 3 games in, so that'll get more consistent as the season goes. But like, I've watched them two the most probably, and Liverpool, and I've looked at them and gone, God, they have like 15, 20 minutes where they're just shite.
Were Spurs not quite good against Newcastle? I know they went on to get beat.
I thought they were
They're not
both.
quite
I
good.
thought like that game was like
League table.
every 15 minutes, like swung. Yeah. Well, Newcastle are 5th, 7 points. Spurs are 10th and 4 points. But yeah, I reckon it's going to be very, very similar in that top 3 with all those teams then battling out for 4th. But what do you think looking ahead? I wanted to have a look at the fixtures. Let's take. We've talked a lot about Liverpool, so we'll maybe leave. We'll come to them at the end very quickly. But let's go with City first. They've got Brentford at home. This will be up to like the next international break. I'm not counting like cup games and stuff. Brentford at home, Arsenal at home, Newcastle away. Ooh, interesting. Fulham at home, and then it is Wolves away.
Say,
City, Wolves away, Southampton at home.
I think the only game they might not win is Arsenal.
And they've
At
got
home, and
Arsenal
honestly,
at
I think they
home.
probably win that.
Yeah, I don't see them dropping any
You
other
got Haaland
points.
in your team yet?
Oh, they're
Nah.
Arsenal. They've got Haaland in
Not putting them in
fantasy.
either, mate.
Are you gonna go the whole season? No.
No, I'll shite it at some point and put them in.
How are you gonna get them in without wild card? You have to wild card.
I'm gonna have to wild card. Don't you worry, mate. I'm fine.
Well, you
early-
early wild cards on the cards, isn't it?
Yeah, I've already hit the button.
Fantasy's
No, but the joke, I'm not.
fantasy's stressful, but it's class.
Ah, it's fucking.
Yeah, but this I'm
Stressful.
top Adam in the wild card.
Well, thanks for letting everyone
That's
know
because
about
the
that,
rest of
mate.
your squad's shite.
That's because the rest of your squad shite. What
But
about
I'm top.
Yeah, but use a triple captain.
So many folk have said that to me. Your team's shit, and it's like,
You're top.
like, I think I'm top.
Listen,
yeah,
mate,
but
don't
mine's,
listen.
mine's is just worse.
Don't listen
Yours
to
is still shy.
don't listen
Your
to
team's a
outside
shitter.
voices, man.
Yeah.
Don't listen to outside voices. What about Arsenal? They've got Spurs away, then they play City away. That's their next two. Then they're at home to Leicester, home to Southampton, away to Bournemouth,
Quite interesting.
Ange gets
home at
sacked,
Liverpool to wrap
Ange
it
gets
up.
sacked by Christmas.
Ange
think?
does. Do
Yeah.
you think so? What
Yeah, he
fucking
goes soon,
hell?
mate.
Why?
Just
Don't like predictions, then you come up with that.
Yeah.
I
Why
think,
do you think that?
I can see it.
You just can
Yeah,
see it.
good
Nah,
reasoning, mate.
I think they're struggling, mate.
I do too.
I think they're struggling big time.
Mm-hmm.
Squad's not very good, by the way.
No.
It's not a good squad if you look at it.
Yeah. To be fair, just to go back there on because they tend to do all right against Arsenal. So just say that's a draw,
Mm-hmm.
and then Arsenal get beat off City.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be what 5 or 6 points behind the City already.
Yeah.
and that could be
That could be it.
That'd
Toast.
be
You're trying to
curtains,
catch them. Could be at toast, man. It's interesting. Liverpool have got. Where are we at with Liverpool? We'll go through them quickly. I want to. All right. Out of these, I'll do. Let's do the next 5. How many points you get? Do you think Liverpool get? So let's go first. We'll go Liverpool at home to Nottingham Forest. I'm going 3 points.
yeah. So am I.
Liverpool then are at home to Bournemouth. I'm going 3 points.
Yeah.
We've got 2
That's-
home games on bounce, do we?
Yeah, 6 out of 6, not including cup games. We're then away to Wolves. I think they're, as much as I praise Gary Neal, I think they're struggling. I think that's another 3.
Why did
9.
you praise him? Why did you bum him so much?
I like Gary O'Neill. I think he does well. I like him. You know, he just sometimes like another
great
manager.
explanation, mate.
I wouldn't have been
What,
mad
is
if
it
he
like
got
him as like a
appointed.
person, or
Yeah, everything about him.
You
If
met
he got
him?
appointed Liverpool manager, I'm like, class.
when,
Yeah,
when
well.
did you meet him?
I've never met him. I've never met him. Fuck off.
Anyway, you're up to
Too busy finger popping each other's
We're up to
assholes.
9. Finger popping each other's assholes. We're up to 9, and then we play Palace away.
That's a bit of a tough game. Is that on a Monday night by any chance?
No, it's a Saturday at 12, fortunately.
Oh, fuck.
Still not easy, but I reckon we got that
3
too.
points, 3 points,
12.
3 points.
And then Chelsea at
Keep
home.
it going.
Chelsea at home on a Sunday. That's probably the tough one.
To be fair, you never know what's
That
happening
could
with
be
Chelsea.
full
to be
points on
fair.
Arsenal away.
You never know what's happening with Chelsea. To be fair, they could turn up and be
I
alright,
think
but they
they
could turn
could
up and
be
be shit.
good. I don't know. Fuck.
But
I change
I
my
think
opinion every time I watch
Actually,
them.
Chelsea are like this as
I'll
well,
put
man.
us
It's like
down
going
for-
out with a bird.
I'll put us down for one draw.
No offense, Ollie.
You do know
Yeah.
your bud listens to these now.
Yeah, no offense.
I'll
Ollie.
put us down for one draw out of those games, just to be. I don't want to sit here and be like,
One draw.
yeah,
So out of 12, you reckon we get 10?
yeah, we've got to be a little bit.
10 out of 12.
A little
12
bit
from
neutral.
12. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm with you. Anything else you guys want to add on that? I have 3 questions I wanted to ask you.
What are
finish up.
Man United's fixtures? Just
Oh, okay. We'll get Man United's. We'll do Man United's.
because
fixtures
surely
as well.
they're going to have to go on a
We'll
little
just
bit.
tear-
of a
we
run
can
at
Ten
just-
this
Hag will
point.
still be in the
we
job
can-
next year.
tear into Man United again. Man United or
Brilliant.
Southampton. Right, we'll go Southampton away.
That's got to be 3 points.
3.
What's Southampton?
Palace away.
I mean, we just said that's a little bit awkward. Is that on a Monday night?
That's Saturday at 5:30. Probably just as
Oh.
hard. Loss.
No, I'm going to say that's a win. Although they
That'd
did
be
get
good
back
for
for
them.
it last year, didn't they?
Palace was lost.
So I'm up to 6. I'm up to 6 points.
They've got Spurs at home. I feel like they typically do Spurs.
I think that's a draw.
Yeah, they've got Spurs at home. Then they've got Villa away.
That's tough. I think that's a draw as well.
It's a draw as well. Then they've got Brentford at home.
I think they win that.
And then I'll just do one more for you. Then they're away at West Ham. So
West Ham always not easy.
it's a little up and down. It's a little up and down.
I think they'll come good. I think.
0
United.
points.
Do you think United will come good?
Oh no, sorry, I was saying West Ham. Mate.
Oh, right. I thought you meant United. West
they
Ham
made
will
some
come
good
good. Another
signings, to be fair,
Lopetegui.
haven't
Yeah, they've been
I
all
think
right.
they'll
Been
get-
all
yeah,
right.
I think they'll kick into gear at some point, but
Right. What 3 question
Hopefully.
task is relatively quick answers. We don't need to. I'll leave that. I'll see that one to last.
there's
I'll-
quick fire.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. You can elaborate a little bit. I'll go to Matthew first on this one. Will Stephen Naismith last the season at Hearts?
No.
No. Greg?
I haven't paid that much attention. I did speak to Ali last Sunday, and apparently they were honking against Dundee. But I'm going to say yes, because apparently they've just appointed like a new sporting director or something.
Okay.
And him and Stephen Naismith know each other. Apparently, like pretty well. So why would you go and like make that appointment if you didn't plan on at least keeping him for a while?
Okay.
So I'm going to say yes.
That 3rd place season vibes. You want to elaborate on that or anything? Or
I was at Tynecastle for the
Oh, the European
against that
night.
Victor Plazin
Yeah,
game.
it was
and
hopeless, wasn't it?
that was horrific
Had
to
about
watch.
I think I had 4 pints in Benson's bar before. What a place, by the way.
Yeah,
And yeah, I was almost falling asleep.
yeah.
It was that bad.
They struggle when. I mean, it's just so obvious
Yeah.
to say, but when Shanklin's not playing there,
I forgot Liam Boyce existed. Sorry, Liam Boyce, but
I think,
anyways,
yeah, I think,
team in the numbers,
I think it's pretty bad. I think the situation at Hearts is pretty bad.
So you said he doesn't last the season. Sorry.
Nah.
Okay, you don't think
Can
he
we
does?
just go back to
Correct.
Ali saying that they were going to split the
The
the old firm at the?
Can we
So-
try clip
Man,
that?
that's like the best viewed video I've posted on TikTok, mate.
To be honest, let's be honest though, before the season, a lot of folk were thinking it, right?
Yeah,
Aber-
they-
Aberdeen
You
might
never
do
really
it.
know.
Yeah.
What?
Aberdeen might do it.
Yeah.
Quick, we'll just do yes or no. Don't elaborate on this one, but on that note, does Clement last the season at Rangers?
No, I think he might walk.
Oh, he's gonna walk. I like that, Matthew. Yeah,
Yeah.
he lasts it.
Yeah.
I think he'll last only because they'll come second because that's just what happens, and then they'll regroup in the summer, and he might go in the summer. Next question: did Everton survive relegation this season? Because fucking hell, they've had some bad. I know it's at the beginning, but to be 2-0 up at Goodison and drop those points is not good.
I think this might be the year they go.
Do you think?
I think
But
so.
Right as the
Bill-
stadium.
When's the stadium ready for them?
Start of next season. Huddersfield at home or something first day. Yes.
Home of Salford City.
They've just had the seats put in. Have you seen that Everton fan that's like, we're just the unluckiest club in the world, we're such a joke, and he goes, we'll get into that new stadium and a fucking tsunami will hit the docks and flood it. I think they maybe go this year, and we've discussed this before, but like, if you've got Sean Dyche as a manager, you're just hoping he comes 17th every year. And
It's
you
like
keep
Steve
going
Clark,
up.
right? You know what you're going to get. You're just going to fucking barely scrape by.
What happened to the days of like, mind when Everton? I think did I see this on Twitter the other day? I think I did. Mind when Everton's front like four was like, it was Lukaku, Morales,
Oh.
Delafeu,
Oh, mate, it
Oh,
would have been,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
who played as like a 10?
the South African boy.
Who? Oh, no,
Stephen
he-
Pienaar.
Stephen Pienaar.
Stephen Pienaar.
Not him, or is he before
it was
that?
McCarthy and someone in midfield.
They had like a
Wayne
land.
Baines, Coleman, and
Tim
then, you know,
Cahill?
Yeah.
Is that before his time as
They
well?
had like a
I don't
land.
think it was around that time. But sorry, yeah, so that just it sparked a little.
No, they had a
uh,
good team at one point, mate.
That was
Yeah,
like
they-
that was
they
that
finished-
David Moyes team.
They
that
finished
was.
fourth once. They finished above
That must have
Liverpool.
been that team, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Liverpool finished fifth. They
Remember?
finished fourth.
Delafeu Morales was class, and then
Delafeu, mate. And then he went to Bar. Did he come from Barca? Did he go to Barca? I
You mean
forget
what-
which way.
he went to Barca after.
But-
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think apparently it's just toxic. Have you seen them obviously waiting in the train station just abuse
Yeah.
the players,
Yeah.
and then Mapai was going at them on Twitter.
I think they're
Oh, I
like.
missed that.
Oh, you not see that?
No.
He literally put like they were abusing them on the train station. And he was like, "Can you imagine this? Grown men, like, could you imagine in any other profession, like you getting shouted at by grown men?" And then he got sold to Marseille, and he posted on his Twitter the GIF in Shawshank Redemption of when the boy breaks out of prison.
Have you not seen that? He's like out
Yeah.
prison as if
Nah,
he's like.
he
out-
comes
I'll
out
have a
of
wee,
mate.
we'll have a wee peek at that.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
unreal, man. It was
Post it
unreal.
on his Twitter.
So yeah, I think that this is the thing though. It depends. It depends. Like obviously, Sean Dyche might get sacked, and like they could bring in someone, and they could.
I don't think
can
they
get-
sacked Sean Dyche though. I think they've gone like so far with him that it's
No, I
like
think it gets that bad to do though.
really.
Yeah,
I think they
I
might have
think it
to.
probably will do. Like
be
and
fair,
the way
even
they
he's
conceded
came out-
those goals.
He looked a bit defeated. They all looked defeated. The fans looked
Was it
defeated. The
Bournemouth
man
that
looked
played
defeated.
and got conceded
Yeah.
those goals
Yeah, they were
against?
2-0
Yeah.
up, and then Bournemouth scored in the 87th minute, and they got beat 3-2.
Yeah.
And by the way, Bournemouth could have had about 6 in the last.
Yeah, I know.
That's
10
never a
minutes.
good sign, is it? When-
Right. Finish shot. Everton are down. I think this year, unfortunately, as the stadium comes. Right. To finish this off, I'm going to give you some names, and I've got a question for you, and
Right.
it's yes or no to kill it. Henri, Rooney, Shearer, Aguero, Haaland. Is Mohamed Salah the best attacker to have played in the Premier League?
And no.
Matthew?
Nah, but one thing I will say is this could really backfire. Is I think we'll get the contract situation sorted with
I
Salah,
agree, yeah.
So do I.
and I have a feeling that he will play for us for a good couple more years.
Yeah.
So Ronaldo's what 39.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Modric is 39 as well.
He'll do that.
He will 100% do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's still got another. What is he 30?
He's 32.
Too.
He's got 7 years.
So if you give him 2 more years, and then
I
go
think he's
from there.
definitely getting 2 more.
Yeah, 2 more years. I'd do the same with Van Dijk. I'd give Van Dijk 2 more and go from
Yeah.
there. Yeah.
I'm not answering that question, but I'll flip it back on you. If
Right.
all of those players, or sorry, take Salah out of the equation, because you're fucking Liverpool biased. Take Salah out of the equation. Who would you pick out of all them?
I'd go Henri. I
Would
love
you?
Thierry Henry.
Henry's a tough one, but funny enough, me and Ali spoke about this again. I think if I was to do an all-time Prem 11, I think I'm putting Rooney up front.
Yeah, Rooney's
I'm
mine
putting
as
Rooney
well.
up top too. Yeah.
So I think I would take Rooney.
Rooney's mine as well.
I'd have
mate.
Rooney to the middle, Henry off the left, Salah off the right.
Yeah.
I'd have Rooney to the middle, Henry off the left, Salah off the right.
I think I'd probably do that as well for Premier League careers.
Yeah.
Because
Who were
Ronaldo.
the other-
Yeah,
I mean,
Ronaldo was
won
like
a
a couple
Ballon
years.
d'Or,
Who
but
were there other options?
Oh, I just put like Shearer 'cause he had the record. I thought Aguero was unreal. It's obviously at City. I mean, Haaland right now. No, he's only a year two, but
Kane.
Kane.
He's not getting
up
any
there.
team over Rooney up
Yeah.
top, though, is he?
Nah, Rooney's
We should-
first on my team sheet. Mate.
Yeah.
We'll do that one pod. We'll do an all-time Prem 11 at the end or something.
That's a good shout.
Yeah, good show. I think that'll do us. Anything else anyone wants to add?
Nah,
Nope.
all good.
Cool.
Team
Nope.
Teeth bed.
Liverpool going to win the league. Ten Hag be sacked.
Sorted.
Stephen Naismith
That's
to
you
not
saying
last
that.
the season.
I'm not putting my name to that in case I get abused online.
Right, sound boys. Cheers to that. Appreciate it. We're
Cheers,
done. Thank you.
lads.